The outsourcing of supply chain decisions has been a growing trend in Canada. Having an intermediary between the shipper and carrier is adding an interesting dynamic to the relationship. Is this a trend that is here to stay? And how will carriers need to adjust? Editorial Director Lou Smirlis posed those questions to shipper and carrier executives at our annual Decisions Roundtable, sponsored by Shaw Tracking. Here's what they had to say.
To me, this trend is here to stay. There's no turning back. I think the key word, Heather said the key word, solutions. And the reasons that 3PLs have progressed to where they are over the last 15 years and why they're going to continue to progress is they provide a full solution. A lot of trucking companies look at it as moving assets from A to B, whereas a 3PL goes in there and tries to provide a solution. Now I see a number of carriers trying to get on the bandwagon. They're opening up a freight brokerage operation, or they're throwing up a flag and saying we do international freight or whatever. But it really comes down to, I think what JJ is trying to say is he's trying to go in there and provide a solution as well from a carrier perspective. So I think, to me, that's the key, that the reason 3PLs have come in between a lot of carriers and shippers is that they can do the whole gamut. They can provide LTL, truckload, overseas, the whole shebang, whereas a lot of carriers are just too narrow in their scope. So I don't see anything holding that trend back. What could be helpful is if more carriers become a little broader in their perspective, understand that it's more than just moving assets. It's providing solutions.
Okay, JJ, I think you wanted something to add to that?
You know, you take a look at it, and again, I don't have the stats on it, but we just look at it common sense. Manufacturing's moved away, so we've outsourced it already into Asia. We're taking product today where we're picking it up in Asia, taking it to Los Angeles, we're cross-docking it, picking and packing it, where it used to be the parts coming in from wherever it may be manufactured here and then shipped out. It just makes sense as well. At the end of the day, the shipper or the importer record can cost out his freight a lot easier. It's the same model that we look at. It's a variable cost in the sense that you're only picking and packing and using it what you are using. If the economy gets tough, very simple. You're not using it, you don't have the space, you don't have the overhead, you don't have to worry about a shipment coming in that's got to get unloaded and bring in the staff and things like that. And we're banking on that, to be very honest with you.
I think it's also value. You're providing more value. You're doing more. You're cementing your relationship with that consumer. And the more you can entrench yourself with that customer, the more chances you are of retaining it. Makes it more difficult for the shipper to disassociate from you and make the change. I mean, you're listening to what Heather's saying, that she's going to have a shorter window on her carriers. So the carrier response has got to be, I got to offer more. So it makes it much more difficult for you to make the change.
Right. Now, still, when we have a non-asset-based provider in the relationship, obviously it does affect the relationship between the shipper and carrier to some degree. What are your thoughts on that, Doug?
Well, many of our customers are third-party 3PLs. One of them here tonight, I see Jens Grauman from Hopewell, and we have many of them, and so we value that. The difficulty with customers like that is they're more demanding than a typical shipper because of that wholesale nature. And what do customers want? They want good prices, they want tracking and tracing, they want efficiency, they want everything we want from our suppliers. So, 3PLs are more of a demanding customer, and to that extent, we have to get better and get almost close to perfection.
The annual Decisions Roundtable was conducted in partnership with the Toronto Area Council of CITT at the Maritime Ontario facilities in front of a live audience. It brought together some of the most respected minds in transportation from across the country. Watch for future episodes as we further examine the latest shipper-carrier issues.